Yeah, oh, it's going to hit the pots.
In the words of Mel Gibson, that can't be good for you. How you doing, Lee?
I'm just keeping the pots quiet. How you doing?
Keeping the pots quiet. Yeah. And the cot's quiet.
Welcome to another show.
Well, what do we got in front of me here? A knife, a roasting pan with some water in it, and that's it.
It's boiling. That's
what we're serving.
A whole half hour of boiling water.
With a knife in it.
I know guys that said you can't even boil water.
Yeah.
We're going to do a corned beef. And we're going to show you how to marinate it.
Okay.
How to prepare it. Remove it from the oven carefully.
Yes, of course.
And then we're going to do a New York potato salad with all of this great dressings and sauces to it. It's kind of like a fun thing.
Do I look like I'm interested in what you're saying?
A thing like you might like to do on your deck
New
once
York
in a while.
potato salad. What's it got? An apple in it?
An apple in it.
Well, a big apple.
Got
to explain everything. Okay, well, I can hardly wait to get started. Always carry your apron with you on the street. Then people stop and say, why are you carrying that apron? And you say, why, I'm on the Two Grumpy Guys in the Kitchen show. And they say, oh, really? I didn't know about that. And you say, oh, yes, you should join us. And that's how we get viewers.
I never wear anything that's a Target.
Do you know how many people have stopped me on the street and asked me about the show? No. Counting them all.
One.
None. Anyway, we'll be back in just a minute with corned beef and New York potato salad. That about it? Okay, I can hardly wait. We'll get rolling. Okay. Yep.
This is called a long flat red.
I went out with her, I
believe. Food Fairs, two grumpy guys in the kitchen. Brought to you by Food Fair. Expect the best from Food Fair. And by Done Right Foods, the finest label for your table.
Although I am not an expert in these things, said he carefully, since you were sharpening a knife, I understand that the thing about corned beef is it has to be lean.
Well, you can buy, matter of fact, I'm unwrapping it as the butcher gave it to me this very day.
What is that?
That's brisket.
A brisket.
A beef brisket.
Brisket,
Now, the recipe that I have is for about 12 pounds, and I'm not going to do 12 pounds of corned beef today.
Why not?
I'm only doing this. It's about roughly 4 to 5.
Okay.
Now, you could cut that off, but I wouldn't right now.
Okay.
You're
the man, so you go ahead.
See, look at the fat on that. But a lot of people leave that on. You can cut it off after you've cooked it.
Okay.
If you don't want it, but right now you need it.
All right. So this is a brisket.
That is a wonderful brisket. You see that?
Boneless. Yeah. You had the butcher do this for you.
The butcher did that. Well, it comes off without a bone.
Your friendly butcher Paul Savage did that for you.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And he cuts it. It's such beautiful meat. You got
Now, why is it you can take stuff and slap it around and kick it and kiss it and everything, and if I take a little taste of a sauce and go to put the spoon back in, you have a fit? Just a point. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. What do you got here, Miss?
Well, we got about half the water we need. We're supposed to be about 6 quarts of water. I got 3 in there because we got half the beef. Now we soak.
The recipe calls for
it. You put that in there. Like
okay. Gently, of course.
Yes.
And you let it boil or simmer? Remember Charlie Simmer played for the Los Angeles Kings?
Okay, now this is going to take 5 hours.
From a small town, northern Ontario. Atacocan, I think. I got booed out of that town. Anyway, that's another story.
You're getting booed out of here in a minute.
Well, I made some joke that I can't use on the air, and they booed me out of Betacam. I've never been asked back. Isn't that something? Well, what are you doing here?
I'm making the marinade.
Oh.
But I'm going to soak this in there for 10 days. It's going to be sitting in.
The playoffs are on anyway.
All right, it's enamel, so you don't have to worry about it.
What's enamel? The beef?
The roaster.
Oh, okay.
Don't put it in just an ordinary metallic thing because
it has to be a roasting pan.
Ruin your pot. And it'll take the meat. And you'll have to throw it up.
Yeah.
It's got to be enamel, or it could be a crock. I prefer a crock, an old-fashioned crock, like my Aunt Matilda's crock. No, you got to have 6. 3 quarters. You got me there.
Your mind wandered, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons.
What do you got there?
That's coarse salt.
Oh, yeah. Is that sea salt?
No.
Oh.
It's coarse salt.
Just salt.
Coarse salt.
Okay.
It's not iodized.
It is not iodized?
It is not iodized. You can actually throw this on your driveway or on your sidewalks.
The corned beef?
Too, yeah. No. The salt.
Neighbors come by, blam, out with a corned beef out of the driveway.
With a corned beef. Yeah.
How to keep the junk mail away from your door.
Now we got.
I can't go to the neighbor's house. He's got corned beef all over his driveway.
This is saltpeter. I will say nothing else. We're going to use about a half an ounce.
Did you get this recipe in prison?
Breathe this in.
I don't need it anymore, Lee. Believe me. It's okay, doctor.
Okay.
I've had enough in my life anyway.
All right, now we're going to
How
make
fun that is.
No, we have to have
saltpeter. I don't believe I have ever heard of saltpeter being used in any real recipe.
Well, it's a preservative too.
A preservative.
And it brings out the flavor.
Didn't work on you, did it?
No, I have 4
What
children.
else would you use it in?
I have 4 sons.
You have 4 sons.
Mighty fine kids.
Okay.
Mighty fine.
I don't know how we... Why did we get into how many sons you got? Are you defensive
I
about
don't know.
that?
I was just asking.
You put saltpeter into something and say, I've got 4 sons, you know.
You've never heard
Nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine.
You know what's...
So that dress that you've got backstage means nothing. It's a simple thing that you can get over at any moment.
Ignore them.
How much does saltpeter cost? I've never bought any.
No price tag on it.
Where'd you get it in?
Yeah.
Did you get that in the safe sex department of your local pharmacy, by the way?
I'm going to hide it.
Remember, you go into a pharmacy and you got to buy a personal product, eh? And you always buy about 9 other things, like boxes of Kleenex and stuff like that.
I don't really
And then
want
you
to-
buy these personal products and kind of slide them in. And you think, oh, that's fine.
Sure,
Until you get to the personal product, and the girl says at the it's always a girl at the cash register says,
I'm going to put the garlic in there.
Martha, how much are the gross of condoms?
Yeah.
$49? $49,
I
sir.
hate you.
Well, you're the one who brought out the saltpeter.
Well, I didn't go into this long. Put the garlic in there.
Okay, what have you been doing while we've been
something
talking,
floating
by the way?
I've been mincing the garlic.
We got something floating in there. Yes, I sneezed. I didn't want to tell you.
It's
That's
garlic.
a joke.
All right.
Nothing like that.
getting really-
Hey, I think I like it already. To tell
All
you the
right, we
truth.
got the garlic in
Yeah,
there.
we'll be back in a
No,
moment
we're
to
not
put in the
finished
rest
yet.
of the stuff.
We
I
can't
know we're
go.
not finished.
I'm
We
not
got
finished.
show to do.
Okay.
We'll be back. Don't worry.
Lee's Leftovers presented by Done Right Foods, the finest label for your table.
Well,
So-
just to bring you up to date, we're making corned beef out of brisket. What do you got there? Honey? You're still back in the grocery store.
I got some
or
honey
in the
here.
pharmacy, aren't you?
I'm putting honey in there. About a tablespoon.
He's thinking of a story. The
I
first
did,
thing
I did it for
The
sweet.
first thing a man learns when he gets married is to go to a store to buy personal products for his wife. Isn't that the most embarrassing moment of your entire
Shut
life?
up.
They tell you everything when you're going to get married, you know, about the
Pickling
responsibility.
spice. I want pickling spice in
And
here.
the thing they don't
Lots
tell you
of pickling
is how to
spice.
go to a store to buy
Okay.
stuff for your wife.
Anyway, we got
Anyway.
that. Okay, now that's
My
gonna,
mother never taught me that.
That's going to sit for 12 days. I'm out of here.
We'll let this sit for 12 days. Pickling spice.
You're
eh?
so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway,
All right.
that's going to sit there like
All
that.
right.
Now,
Enough fooling around.
yeah.
Because
Get
this
down
is
to
going to
work.
be great, I know.
Okay, I'll put that on there and just let it
Now,
boil.
seriously, you sit it there for 10 days?
Well, it actually sits in the refrigerator, as I mentioned.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll turn it off now. I don't want you to burn yourself.
Yes, you do.
This is what happens to it.
Now you do.
Okay.
Oh, is that after 10-day marinade?
When that comes out
Yep.
of the crock or you pot, you put it into another pot
I got you there.
and you boil it for 5 hours.
You're mine for the rest of the show.
Yeah. We're gone.
If I just blink at you, you'll go crazy.
Yeah. So we got another crock,
Sure.
and we're going to boil that for 5 hours. Okay.
But theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, it takes 5
In
hours.
television terms.
And then it comes down to a beautiful texture.
Okay. Now, is this what you get at the delis? You know, like you go into have lunch and
It's
you order
basic
corned
like
beef
that.
and they slice it.
All right. Well,
That's what it is.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
it's wonderfully cooked and it's also pickled and it's ready to rock and roll.
Do
We
they
love
ever
the
put
pickle spice.
cloves in there?
We're going to do that now, matter of fact.
Oh,
we're
how did I know?
We're going to make up a nice little cover with it.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it in the oven.
Okay.
A little bit of black pepper.
Okay. I tell you again, you know, there is a shaker top to those things. You don't have to
I don't
dump
use
it in.
shaker tops. And then I'm going to
Okay. Whatever. I'm thinking of something else again.
let's get to work
Want
here.
me to say it?
No. I want to do this.
See, now you're terrified. For
Yeah.
the rest of the half hour, you're terrified every
You got
time
me-
I take a
you
breath.
got me terrified.
What's he going to say?
Yeah, you can keep going on there babbling around.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
I'm just watching you work here.
and
It's great.
I'm going to put about a teaspoon of chili powder on this.
Chili powder.
Chili powder.
Huh, I wouldn't have thought of that.
And then I'm going to put a teaspoon of
Paprika?
Paprika.
Okay. Pardon me, I have to cough. Excuse me.
And I want to put a little bit of onion powder on there.
Okay. That's a lot of onion powder, in my opinion.
About a half a teaspoon of onion powder on there. What are you talking about?
Half a teaspoon.
Close.
I could have gotten that. Why don't you just ask me to go
entertain the folks while I'm back in the kitchen.
Oh, because you're scared what I'm going to say if I entertain the folks. What's that?
That's close.
Cloves?
Cloves.
No, I meant like real cloves.
Those are cloves.
Those are ground up cloves.
And then I want to put a little bit of
ground cloves. I didn't know you could buy ground cloves.
And then put a little bit of mustard on it.
Dry mustard?
Dry mustard.
Dry mustard, dry mustard. Dry.
Now, it's a little dry. Oops.
Well, of course it's a little dry. It's dry mustard.
And then we're just going to sprinkle it a little bit with olive oil.
Okay. What are you going to do? Bake this?
I'm gonna put it
This is after the marinade, right?
Put it on the grill. Get your
Oh, you don't cover it?
I'm just going to put it in the oven for a while now.
All right. What temperature? 4 1/4, I see.
Well, you're only going to keep it in there for 4 or 5 minutes.
At 4 1/4.
In the meantime, we've got to get ready for the potato salad.
Oh, matzo balls.
Well, these are potatoes.
You don't have any hakama, eh?
See, if you've boiled them properly, they should almost fall apart on you.
Well, they fell apart on you, there's no question.
And occasionally you get a little brown spot, so you take it off.
I like the brown spots. I'm one of the few people you'll know who what's funny about that? Who cooks potatoes with the jackets on, because I read somewhere that most of the nutrients in a potato were in the skins.
You are a product of the Depression, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, I laugh.
I lived on snakes and lizards for some length of time.
Don and I love golfing.
That's what we ought to do, is a show on lizards, how to cook lizard.
And we were out golfing, and of course, we go to the restaurants and places in the States, wherever the great golf courses are.
Sure.
And,
golf course, yeah, the great ones.
And then when we
$4.95 for 2 days.
And when we dine,
yeah,
I'll guarantee
dig your own hole. When we dine in these fine golf courses, where are you going with this story? I have no idea what you're going to do.
Whenever we were starting off on a subject about 4 minutes ago that I was going to try to develop, that you always clean your plate.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And you get that because when you were a child, you were told to always clean up.
Well, sure.
That's why you eat brown spots on potatoes.
You know, the actor Wayne Knight, who plays on...
That's where I was going with that story.
Oh, were you? To Newman?
No.
On Seinfeld. Well, Newman on Seinfeld, they had an interview with him, and they said, if you had one thing you'd like to change in your life, what is it? And he says, I wish my mother had never said to me, clean up your plate. Because he weighs like about 300, and he's about 5'4". He's a very funny guy, though.
We didn't have much to clean up.
Anyway.
Okay,
we're making potato salad here whilst the corned beef is doing.
We're trying to, but your entertainment is really well done.
What were you doing? You were chopping up some boiled potatoes.
Some potatoes there.
Wow.
Okay, now I got
Should we be silent?
Okay.
Perhaps we could have a choir singing in the background.
Oh, I love to hear
while you're doing that. Okay, I see you have a little bit of water there.
Vinegar.
Oh. Good thing I didn't drink it.
Okay. 1/3 cup of vinegar.
Yep. A little more dry mustard.
1.5 teaspoons of dry mustard.
Okay. New York potato salad, huh?
Yeah.
Is this from a particular restaurant in New York?
You're in New York, you get this.
As soon as you get off the plane, they hand you this, do they?
Well,
you want me to do that one for you? Or have you got it?
They seal these things now.
Okay. Well, while Lee wrestles with the mayonnaise jar, we'll come back and show you how things are coming along. Should be good.
3/4 cup of mayo.
Lee's Leftovers, presented by Done Right Foods, a supplier of portion control poultry since 1945. You're watching Food Fair's Two Grumpy Guys in the Kitchen, brought to you in part by Food Fair. Expect the best from Food Fair.
And welcome back. When last we joined Lee, he was in the kitchen making New York potato salad. He had taken several potatoes and crumbled them up. Now he's got some mayonnaise and what else?
As we join the scene, Lee says, we've just got mayonnaise put in here.
Is that ultra-low-fat mayonnaise?
Dry mustard and vinegar.
Dry mustard and vinegar and mayonnaise.
And now we're putting some sour cream in
here.
Is
that light sour cream you're putting in?
Well, yes.
Yeah, it is,
light.
as a matter of fact.
Light sour cream.
Fine.
I knew you were coming, so I said okay.
Don't get worried. We have the recipes coming at the end of the show.
Yeah,
Or you can get them at food fair stores.
half a cup.
Have a cup.
Okay.
I love potato salad.
And then you mix that in there.
My sister Kay used to make a great potato salad.
And
She was
now,
a great person.
and
Think of
now
a funny case.
we're going to put paprika.
Oh yeah.
A little heat in there too, actually.
She was a switchboard operator in a car lot, and one day, early on in her job, my sister Kay.
Oh, okay.
She makes great potato salad like you. What'd you put in there?
Paprika.
So anyway, she gets a call. And the guy says, "Could I speak to Lou Brackett, please?" She says, "Just a moment, sir." She phones all over the building. Lou Brackett, is there a Lou Brackett out there? Lou Brackett, anybody, please, could you get Lou Brackett? Would you come to the phone? 5 minutes later, she goes back on, says to the guy, "I'm sorry, sir, I've looked all over, and I can't find a Lou Brackett anywhere." And the guy says, "Lube rack." It's stories like that have kept me in the small money for some length of time now.
Yeah.
You're chopping up a green pepper. Hey, at least I got out of the pharmacy department.
Yeah, we're into the produce.
Want me to tell some produce stories?
Everything from saltpeter to. What a show! What a show! Okay,
Have you got one that looks like that at home?
but
That knife, or is that your own?
yeah, well, actually, you could do it.
You know, I spend this whole show leaning on this counter. It's just occurred to me.
I noticed.
Once in a while, can I have something to do with this?
Yeah,
By the way?
fun. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
You want something to do?
Yeah.
I'll let you cut.
Okay. I haven't got it. Oh,
You cut, and I'll tell jokes.
Yeah. It's a lot safer, isn't it?
Well,
Okay, what do you want?
At least
This-
I don't.
you want this
I just
chopped?
want to chop that fine.
Fine. Fine it is. Okay. Heck is that?
Put a little onions in there.
Okay.
You can
You know
add or
what I-
subtract anything you want. from
Can you
potato
tell
salad.
me why red and green peppers are so expensive? I mean, I love them and I use them all the
Well,
time.
In the wintertime, of course, you have to have them brought up from the south.
Here's the thing I do. I take out the white. I know you don't, but I do.
I just did. You just watched me do it.
You take the brown out of potatoes and I take the white out of green peppers or red peppers. Isn't that funny?
Okay, so we're going to mix a
Isn't
little
it
bit.
funny
onion
how
in
life
there.
goes, Lee?
That green pepper's in there, and I put some
Yeah.
green pepper in with this as well.
Okay. Fingers back. Da-da-da-da.
Now you can put celery in there. Celery stalks at midnight.
Okay. Yes, it does.
Actually, Al Simmons, a good friend of mine, has a song out like that. It's an old Will Bradley tune that goes back to the 30s in the
You
Big Bond era.
You remember the guy who did word jazz? What was his name? Ken Nordine. You remember him?
Nordine. Yeah, he did Shifting Whispering Sands too.
And he did a thing about eating celery at midnight, done to a jazz background. It was really funny. And then do you remember Al Jazzbo Collins, the disc jockey at the Purple Grotto in New York?
He used to do Little Red Riding Hood.
That's right. Steve Allen wrote that kind of stuff for him. About
jazz was fun.
He would take fairy tales. What did they call them? Grim fairy tales, or
Yeah,
and he'd
they're
do
really grim.
yeah, and he would do. Here's your chopped up red pepper.
He did kind of like a beat talk, eh?
Yeah, and he'd do the Three Little Pigs, and when the wolf fell into the pot at the end of the story of the Three Little Pigs huffing and puffing and blow your house in and all that, he fell into the pot, and the third little pig took off the lid, took a sniff, and said, "Ah, my favorite, cream of nowhere." Remember that?
Yeah, man.
Cream of nowhere.
Like I dig the scene.
Yeah.
Groovy. I said that to my kid one day. Groovy. He says, "What's that?" I said, "It's a hip term." He said, "What's hip?" And I said, "You got to be cool." Now they know what cool is.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This looks pretty good. What'd you get? Oh, you put paprika in there.
Well, yeah, the paprika gives it that nice color.
Okay, and hard-boiled
And
egg.
I should have peeled these beforehand, but I didn't.
You want me to do them?
Oh no,
Why not?
gives you something. It gives me something to do. I want to stand around looking like you there.
Sure, we'll let Percy look like the dunce. That's how they spell my name on my paycheck. D-U-N-C-E, Percy.
You get paid.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Okay.
making a mess of this.
What are you doing? Are you going to
See,
chop
actually,
them up
with
and
egg,
put them in there?
If you cook them with a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of salt,
Yep.
it sort of helps them.
All right.
I eat.
When you're hard boiling them.
And I
you
don't
mean.
want any shells in there.
Okay.
Okay, now we're just going to trim this up a little bit.
All righty. Oh, this is just for decoration?
Yeah, well, what I do is you got to have hard-boiled eggs in there.
Sure. All righty. Well, I think you're doing very well, except in the egg part, of course.
Well,
And this is a New York recipe for potato salad. And we'll come back and show you the finished product in a couple of minutes. So why don't you come on back and join us?
Lee's Leftovers, presented by Done Right Foods, the aristocrat of all chickens. You're watching Food Fair's Two Grumpy Guys in the Kitchen, brought to you in part by Food Fair. Expect the best from Food Fair.
Kind of a nice summery type dish, corned beef, and you've done it again. You fool around with it, and look how beautifully it comes out.
Well, it's got that.
Yeah, you recommend this
See, the pickling gives it the nice red flavor, color.
Yeah.
And it's fairly dry.
Yeah.
And you can either do this with corned beef and cabbage, like Jigs and Maggie used to have, or this is fore and this is aft, and we're going to serve this with a deli. So
all right,
let's get to the recipe.
Get it over there.
Lots of ingredients.
And we recommend, this is actually my favorite flavor wine.
I'll take it over.
It's a Spatlese German wine, and very light, summery, and crisp, and just goes great with this. So we'll try that. And it's a long recipe, and I got a.
Did you hurt your arm in any way? Want me to help you?
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, you can only do a cat, but you can't.
And the recipe's available. There you go. Hurt yourself, didn't you?
Oh,
at Food Fair stores everywhere, or on the web. And what's that address on the web?
www.gamecoach/figure2grumpyguys.
And the recipes of all of our shows are on the net. And have we got to look at this dish when it's done, or can we hear the recipe ingredients and how to do it? But as I say, it's printed out on Food Fair
Well,
stores.
we're still doing the ingredients
Yeah.
right now, so that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Again, you got to spend a lot of time at this. Think about it 12 days ahead of time. Get it in a crock. 5 hours to get it ready.
Yeah, for
but
instance.
but it's worth it. And that potato salad, you'll find exquisite.
Yeah.
You can add celery to it if you like, maybe even a little bacon.
like
If it's heated up, then it's kind of like a German salad, which and bacon. You can put,
And how about the corned beef? You can serve it either hot or cold, too.
We're
Right?
serving it with rye bread,
Okay.
pickles, some horseradish. Goes well with horseradish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
And again, it's kind of a recipe that's really famous here in the north end of Winnipeg.
And so are you, come to that.
In New York, they have the best corned beef. Oh, I just had at the stage delicatessen at Carnegie Hall.
Winnipeg corned beef is served differently in delis from Toronto. We serve it cold, they serve it hot. Anyway, however you serve it, it's great. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had fun. We did.
Enjoy.
And we'll do it again next time. Two Grumpy Guys. So long.
Have to go shopping, do you?
Food Fair's Two Grumpy Guys in the Kitchen has been brought to you by Food Fair. Expect the best from Food Fair. And by Done Right Foods, the finest label for your table. The Grumpy Guys Kitchen, supplied by Gateway Kitchen and Bath Center, crafted precisely for you. Special thanks to the Bay Downtown for all appliances, utensils, place settings, and set decoration. Promotional consideration thanks to KY58, Good Time Oldies Nighttime Sports. This has been a Grumpy Guys production.